1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. What you glad?
Bill Haley and the Comets, and they were there before Elvis Presley even. Who would have thought a country band? And they were a country swing band. And then they came up with rock and roll, and we have the roots of rock and roll. My name is Al Fisher. How you doing? We've got a great show lined up. Three-part trivia question. That's what I was trying to say. And some great songs. So stay tuned. We're going to have a little doo-wop music now with the Cleftones.
Heart and soul, I fell in love with you. Heart and soul, the way a fool would do, madly, because you held me tight. Held me tight, 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 and stole a kiss, stole a care in the night. Heart and soul, I beg to be adored. Yes, then I lost control and tumbled overboard. Gladly, that magic night we kissed. Oh, we kissed. Oh, we kissed. Oh, we kissed. There in the moonlit. Oh, but your lips were thrilling, much too thrilling. Never before were mine so strangely willing. Darling, and now I see what embrace can do. Come on and look at me. You got me loving you madly. That little kiss that you stole. 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 Yes, you stole. All my heart. You stole. And soul. Yes, you stole. All my heart. You stole. And soul. Yes, you stole. You stole.
Heart and soul, some early rock and roll for you. And this week, our Elvis Presley song is about, well, socially conscious to this extent. He sang in the ghetto.
As the snow flies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto. And his mama cries, 'cause if there's one thing that she don't need, is another hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto. People, don't you understand? The child needs a helping hand. He'll grow to be an angry young man someday. Take a look at you and me. Are we too blind to see? Or do we simply turn our heads and look the other way? Well, the world turns, and a hungry little boy with a runny nose plays in the street as the cold wind blows in the ghetto. And his hunger burns, so he starts to roam the streets at night, and he learns how to steal and he learns how to fight in the ghetto. And then one night in desperation, the young man breaks away. He buys a gun, he steals a car, tries to run, but he don't get far, and his mama cries. As a crowd gathers round an angry young man face down in the street with a gun in his hand in the ghetto. And as her young man dies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, another little baby child is born in the ghetto. ghetto. And his mama cried.
Here's my poem for this week. It's called It's Not a Place. They come from countries far and wide, and some to work and some to hide. Most are seeking a better life. A few are searching for a husband or wife. They've only heard of the larger cities, so that's where they settle, with spouse and kiddies. That only adds to the existing congestion. Most adapt, but very few question, who am I, and why am I here? What is the meaning of life that holds us dear? Is there an alternative, a better way, where one can find peace and really live each day? The answer may be to lose your life to find it, a shift in consciousness, or continue to grind it. When you humbly admit that you've suffered enough, the road less traveled is a lot less rough. Here's Adele.
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch and it's bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out and I'll lay yours fish bare. See, I'll leave with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I will do. There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch and it's bringing me out the dark. The scars of your
Oh yeah, we play it all here on the Roots of Rock and Roll with yours truly, Al Fisher. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Rolling in the Deep with Adele. Now she came from England and was a big, big star. Her album sold, fantastic numbers. And, and then along came, currently the Taylor Swift parade. So who knows what's going to be next. Our next song is very tempting because a lot of people just want to, get in the car, with your partner and maybe guitar and, a dog named Boo.
I remember to this day the bright red Georgia clay and how it stuck to the tires after the summer rain. Willpower made that old car go. A woman's mind told me that's so. Oh, how I wish we were back on the road again. Me and you and a dog named Boo, traveling and a living off the land. Me and you and a dog named Boo, how I love being a free man. I can still recall the wheat fields of St. Paul and the morning we got caught robbing from an old hen. Old MacDonald, he made us work, but then he paid us for what it was worth. Another tank of gas and back on the road again. Me and you and a dog named Boo, traveling and a living off the land. Me and you and a dog named Boo, how I love being a free man. Me and you and a dog named Boo, how I love being a free man. I'll never forget the day we motored stately into big L.A. The lights of the city put settling down in my brain. Though it's only been a month or so, that old car's bugging us to go. We gotta get away and get back on the road again. Me and you and a dog named Boo, traveling and a living off the land. Me and you and a dog named Boo, how I love being a free man. Me and you and a dog named Boo, just a traveling and a living off the land. Me and you and a dog named Boo, how I love being a free man.
Yeah, try it. Motels are costly, but I guess you can do it with a tent. Yeah, my boys like to do camping. I like to do Holiday Inn. Comfortable bed. Well, it started with Bill Haley and the Comets, a country swing band, as I mentioned. And now we've got the Electric Light Orchestra, whole band going. And I like this song because it's true. Rock and roll is king.
Well, listen everybody, let me tell you about the rock and roll. Oh, feel that rhythm and it's really gonna thrill your soul. Come along with me to a land all she ever tells me when I call her on the telephone. She says I feel that jumping beat, and to get up on your feet. She says oh whamma lamma bamma lamma, rock and roll is king. Oh let those guitars play, play for me, play for me. Oh let that song ring out, that's how it's meant to be. Well, it rolls like a train that's coming on down the track. She rolled over Beethoven and she gave Tchaikovsky back. Oh, she loves that driving beat. She goes dancing on down the street. She said, oh, whamma, lamma, bamma, lamma, rock and roll is king. Oh, rock on. Oh, let those guitars play, play for me, play for me. Oh, let that song ring out, that's how it's meant to be. Well, when she comes around and I'm listening to the radio, she says you can't do that 'cause all I wanna do is rock and roll. Now here I'm gonna stay when that music starts to play. She says whamma lamma bamma lamma, rock and roll is king. Oh yeah, whamma lamma bamma lamma, rock and roll is king. Whamma lamma bamma lamma, rock and roll is king. Ooh yeah, whamma lamma bamma lamma, rock and roll is king. She said, whamma lamma bamma lamma, rock and roll is king.
I agree. Rock and roll is king. This is the roots of rock and roll with yours truly, Al Fisher. And speaking of roots, this guy was a pioneer of rock and roll music.
Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music. Any old way you choose it. Got a backbeat, you can't lose it. Any old time you use it. It's gotta be rock and roll music. If you wanna dance with me. If you wanna dance with me. I have no kick against modern jazz, unless they try to play it too darn fast and change the beauty of the melody until it sounds just like a symphony. That's why I go for that rock and roll music. Any old way you choose it. It's got a backbeat, you can't lose it. Any old time you use it. It's gotta be rock and roll music. If you wanna dance with me. If you wanna dance with me. I took my loved one over across the tracks so she could hear my man a wailing sax. I must admit they have a rockin' band. Man, they were blowing like a hurricane. That's why I go for that rock and roll music. Any old way you choose it. It's got a backbeat, you can't lose it. Any old time you use it. It's gotta be rock and roll music. If you wanna dance with me. If you wanna dance with me. Way down south they gave a jubilee. The Georgia folks they had a jamboree. They're drinking home from a wooden cup. The folks dancing got all shook up and started playing that rock and roll music. Any old way you choose it. It's got a backbeat, you can't lose it. Any old time you use it. It's gotta be rock and roll music. If you wanna dance with me. If you wanna dance with me. Don't care to hear 'em play a tango. I'm in the mood to dig a mambo. It's way too early for the Congo. So keep a rocking that piano, so I can hear some of that rock and roll music. Any old way you choose it. It's got a backbeat, you can't lose it. Any old time you use it. It's gotta be rock and roll music. If you wanna dance with me. if you wanna dance with me.
It's trivia time here on the Roots of Rock and Roll, and as I mentioned, today we have a 3-part trivia question. It was in 1985 when Lionel Richie and Michael Jackson got together and wrote a song called We Are the World, and it was for a good cause. It was a charity. And the producer, Quincy Jones, had a sign up on the studio that said, "Leave your ego at the door." Because all the rock and roll singers were coming from all over, and, you know, they had big egos. But anyway, our trivia question has something to do with that, because which star failed to appear to sing that song, We Are the World? Which star failed to appear? Ooh. And who wasn't invited? There's another question for you. And the last question, who walked out of the room? They were all together, and then somebody got upset and walked out of the room. So that's our 3-parter that has to do with the song We Are the World from 1985. Which star failed to appear? Who wasn't invited? And who walked out of the room? Well, we're going to have some answers coming up after this one. Speaking of pioneers, he was around at the beginning as well, and this song has lasted for a long time.
Well, Bebop-a-lula, she's my baby. Bebop-a-lula, I don't mean my baby.
Gene Vincent.
Bebop-a-lula, she's my baby. Bebop-a-lula, I don't mean my baby. Bebop-a-lula, she's my baby, my baby. Well, she's the gal in the red blue jeans. She's the queen of all the team. She's the woman that I know. She's the woman that loves me so. Say, Bebop-a-lula, she's my baby. Bebop-a-lula, I don't mean my baby. Bebop-a-lula, she's my baby, my baby, my baby. Let's rock! She's the woman with the flying feet. She's the one that walks around the store. She's the one that yells more. Bebop-a-lula, she's my baby. Bebop-a-lula, I don't wait my baby. Bebop-a-lula, she's my baby, my baby. Let's rock again now. She's my baby. Bebop-a-lula, I don't mean my baby. Bebop-a-lula, she's my baby. Bebop-a-lula, I don't mean my baby. Bebop-a-lula, she's my baby, my baby.
Thank you, Gene. Yeah, Gene Vincent and the Blue Caps. That was his band, Bebop-a-lula, and he was very big in England. So our trivia questions had to do with the song We Are the World. If you remember that, from 1985. It was for a worthwhile charity. Which star failed to appear? The answer? Prince. Yeah, the guy who came to Toronto. And who wasn't invited? Well, Madonna was replaced by Cyndi Lauper. And who walked out of the room? He was there, but then he got upset and walked out of the room, and that person was Waylon Jennings. Wow, what a 3-part trivia question. That was good. And if you got 1 or 2, that's pretty good too. I got another one. I got another trivia question. And a guy from down in the States, a good old southern boy, came up to Toronto and became a big, big star. He owned Yonge Street. And he stayed in Canada, and probably our biggest star really in rock and roll, Mr. Ronnie Hawkins. What state was Ronnie from? What state in the United States was Ronnie Hawkins from?
I'm gonna give you 40 days to get back home. I done called up a gypsy woman on the telephone. I'm gonna send out a worldwide hoodoo that'll be the very thing that'll suit you. I'm gonna say she'll be back home in 40 days. Woo! 40 days. Woo! 40 days. I'm gonna say she'll be back home in 40 days. I'm gonna send out a worldwide hoodoo that'll be the very thing that'll suit you. I'm gonna say she'll be back home in 40 days. Talking to the judge in a private early this morning. And they took me to the sheriff's office to sign a warning. They're gonna throw a cross charge again you. That'll be the very thing that'll send you. I'm gonna say that she'll be back home in 40 days. Woo! 40 days. 40 days. 40 days. 40 days. I'm gonna say that she'll be back home in 40 days. I'm gonna send out a worldwide hoodoo that'll be the very thing that'll suit you. I'm gonna say that she'll be back home in 40 days. Oh, 40 days. 40 days. 40 days. 40 days. I'm gonna say that she'll be back home in 40 days. 40 days. I'm gonna throw a cross charge again you. That'll be the very thing that'll send you. I'm gonna say that she'll be back home in 40 days.
While a lot of Canadian artists were going down the States to make it big, Ronnie came from Arkansas and was a big, big star in Canada. You bet, some Canadian talent. That's our show for today. Thank you so much for listening. Tell your friends all about the roots of rock and roll. We're going to go out with the Beaver. Hit it! Thanks for listening, everybody. See you next time.
Thank you.